Hey internet, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video I didn't think I was going to do. If you saw any of my previous videos, you may have heard me mention that I was pregnant and I had a baby recently, and I had a very difficult pregnancy, so I didn't think I was going to talk about my pregnancy on this channel. If you are curious, you can check out my vlog channel, Tell Me Your Fable, which will be linked down below. That's basically where I'm documenting my personal life, so pregnancy, parenthood, all that sort of stuff is there, but this channel is purely just my interest. Travel, fashion, beauty, cosplay, whatever. But this is it is beauty related. It's to do with stretch marks. So when I first fell pregnant, I was very focused on the vanity side of things. I can say that now that I've been through the process and I've come out the other end, I, for some reason, just don't care as much about that sort of stuff anymore. I don't know, it just seems it doesn't seem as important, because I think I started realizing that it was better that I was healthy, that the delivery was safe, my body is much healthier because I had gestational diabetes, so I'm eating better, and all those things mattered so much more. Like, my baby's healthy, I'm healthy, that's all that matters. What I look like matters less. Still, like, obviously matters, that's why I still love makeup and stuff, but just not to the same degree that it used to matter to me. However, that is also a very privileged thing to say, because I think I came out of it pretty okay. I was very worried about weight gain and, well, excessive weight gain, and I was really worried about stretch marks and sagginess. And I can say that I pretty much haven't experienced any of that. I've just come out pretty unscathed. My body is not exactly the same as it used to be, but and to be honest, I actually don't quite remember what my body was like before pregnancy, but I don't think it was exactly the same, but it also doesn't look like I've been pregnant before either. So I think I'm probably sitting in a very privileged position. However, one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, and let me just say, I'm not a dermatologist, so I can't say for sure this is all the stuff that's going to work, but one of the reasons I was really worried, especially about stretch marks, is because it runs in my family. My mom had a ton of stretch marks, like all over her belly, and that was a result of the pregnancies that she went through. So from everything I had read that stretch marks is inherently genetic. So if your mother has had stretch marks, then you will likely have them as well. So that kind of made me really upset that I thought I'm gonna have to go through that. I still did a ton of stuff. So I used all these products religiously. I made sure I drank a lot of water, stayed hydrated. I was very on top of trying to do everything I could to avoid stretch marks. And I don't have any stretch marks. I came out of it, no stretch marks at all. However, the other thing I have to say is that I did deliver at 37 weeks. So I know that some people get stretch marks much earlier in the pregnancy. Some get them right at week 38, 39. I think my mom got them throughout the pregnancy, so take from that what you will. I don't know if these products work, but I can tell you that I would highly recommend these products. If any of my friends were pregnant or going through pregnancy and were worried about stretch marks, I would recommend all of this, because this is stuff I used. My mom has stretch marks, I have no stretch marks. I use these religiously. I don't know. I don't know, it might have worked. So I'll be able to show you some of these products because I still have them, but some of the other products I've used them up, or they're just kind of in a state which I can't really show on camera because they're in the shower. So I will leave pictures and I will try and link everything down below for you. So yes, let's get right into the video. So I actually found out I was pregnant at week 4. I was very on the ball at testing right when I knew my period was due, or a day or two before. The reason I tested bang on week 4 is because I was actually getting my second COVID shot at the time. And I think I just wanted to know if I was pregnant, because one of the questions they ask you when you get your COVID shot, at least back then, because I went to those big Melbourne Exhibition Centre clinics. Now you go to your GP, they hardly ever ask you, they just make you fill out a form. But they do ask you if you are pregnant. And so I wanted to know if I was, because we had been actively trying for over a year at that point. So I took the test, found I was pregnant that morning. I was kind of shocked, and it was very difficult to be happy about that because I'd gone through a miscarriage previously. So, but I had that information, and I remember it so vividly because when the nurse asked me if I thought I could be pregnant, I said yes. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm probably one of the first people you've told. And I'm like, that's true. Besides my husband, you are the first person I've told, and I don't intend to tell anyone until much later on. So it was kind of a memorable moment for me. But that evening, once I found out I was pregnant, I started using products. Like, I already had some of these products and I had to buy some of them as I went along, but because I had experienced pregnancy prior, I already had some of these on hand. So the first one, and this is my second bottle, and this is almost finished now, is this one here by The Ordinary. It is the rosehip seed oil. Now, when you Google oils that are good for pregnancy, you get a whole bunch of different oil types all listed. The reason, and this is one of the ones that stood out to me that gets listed on Google. So yes, Dr. Google, not exactly the best doctor, but I'm just being honest, that's what I did, I Googled. The other reason though I picked this one out is there's an influencer that I'm pretty sure everybody in the beauty industry, fitness industry knows, Tammy Hembrow. She's an Australian Instagram model, sports, I don't know, just overall influencer, but business owner. Beautiful. She's been through multiple pregnancies and she is gorgeous. I love her so much. And I remember in an interview when she had her first 2 pregnancies, she mentioned using rosehip oil and she didn't have any stretch marks. So I thought I would give that a shot. If she's using it and the internet is suggesting it, then I'd go with it. So that's the first thing I started using from like day 1. And I pretty much use this religiously. So I shower in the evenings, and then right after the shower, I would put on this oil. So that's why I've been through, this is the second one. The reason I've been through only 2 is because I had a couple other oils I started experimenting with further along the pregnancy, but I'd say by the first day of week 4, I started using this, and I would just put like 3 or 4 drops on my belly area, and I just rub it in. I did start to rub them in along my chest as well because I heard that you could get stretch marks there, so I thought I would just moisturize the entire front of my body. So yes, the smell is not... The reason I end up going on and off this is because I was going through a phase of nausea through the pregnancy and the smell started really putting me off, so I couldn't use it that often. So I had to start changing it up a little bit. So this was the first oil I used. Honestly, out of all the oils I use, this is probably the one I recommend. It's the most affordable one. It feels like the cleanest one because it's just very targeted on like rosehip oil. You don't have like fragrances or any of these other items that I just don't think are necessary. So this is the one I'd recommend. The other one I started using because I saw some Instagram models mention this is this one by Clarins. It is the Tonic Treatment Oil Firming Toning. This actually comes in like a mother pregnancy pack that Clarins markets. And you can see I've used some of it, but I didn't really go through a lot of it. And it's because it has a very strong fragrance and I couldn't handle the fragrance well during my pregnancy. But also, I don't know, I just kind of assumed that all this like fancy branded stuff is going to come with a ton of different ingredients that is probably not super necessary. That's just a wild assumption I've made. That's why I tend to like brands that are like more, it's weird. It's not that they're more affordable. I think they're just a little bit more clinically proven. It's like The Ordinary. I have a brand here, Cetaphil. I think CeraVe is also a known brand. These brands just feel a little bit more medicinal to me as opposed to this one that feels more like cosmetic-y. I don't know. So this is what I use. And the other oil I use, purely because I was just trying to use it up, is this one here from To Go Face Hero. The Powerful Protective, it's a face oil. This one has no pregnancy claims to it. It's just that I didn't like using this on my face, so I started using it on my body. I think essentially what I was trying to do is just keep my body as moisturized as possible so that when the skin stretches, it can stretch with a little bit more ease. So that's kind of the logic I went with. At the start of the pregnancy, I was just using this in the evenings, but I think towards the end of the second trimester, start of the third trimester, I started moisturizing multiple times a day. So I might do the oils once in the morning, once in the evening, or late morning, late evening. I was working from home, so it made this really easy. But it's partly because I started feeling my skin get really itchy, especially in the third trimester. I could feel it getting really, really itchy, and that's when I was like, I'm sure stretch marks are coming now, because I was just constantly scratching, and I had to really stop from scratching, but the skin was stretching quite a lot, so I could feel it getting really, really itchy. the stretch areas, like I know the areas of my belly that did end up stretching, there's no stretch marks, but there's a little bit of dryness after the delivery, like when my skin came back down. I saw those areas actually go a little bit lighter in pigmentation towards the end of the pregnancy, but they still, no stretch marks. And then after delivery, they were just like drier patches of my stomach. So I kept using most of these oils probably 1 or 2 months after delivery just to keep my stomach moisturized, and now it's all good. So those are the oils that I use. However, I also use a moisturizer on top of the oils. I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if a lot of people did that, but I felt like it worked for me. So that was something I really wanted to do. The moisturizer that I highly recommend and I would continue using is this one. Sorry, the lighting is like not great. It keeps going in and out. It's a cloudy day. I always seem to film on cloudy days. I have no idea why. This Moisturizer stretch marks cream. I googled this and got it off Amazon. I actually went through 1 or 2 tubes of this. So specifically designed, I think the whole Moisturizer range, I didn't know this until I had my baby, but at the hospital they gave me like a little gift set of this brand, and it was all blue colored, and it was like bathing products for the baby. And I was like, is this brand actually like a mother paternal, I don't know, brand? Because I had no idea. Then I went online and it is. So I'm like, I thought this was some fancy like unknown brand that I picked up online. Turns out not the case. So it's pretty common, popular brand. I use the same brand now when I give my baby baths, especially for shampooing and all that sort of stuff. So I just think this is a great brand. It's quite affordable. I think the tube was maybe $20-30 or something like that. It lasts you quite a while. You don't need that much, especially because I'm using an oil. You probably just need like a 5-cent coin size amount or something like that, and then just rub it all over your front as well. So love this. However, I kept this in my bathroom, and so during the day, if I wanted to moisturize, especially when my skin was getting itchy, I wanted to use something else that was a little easier to get, because this one is just like, I can feel it's a little sticky because like you have to open it, squeeze it, close it. It's just a little inconvenient. In the evening when I had the time to relax, sure. But during the day, if I wanted to be quick about it, I wanted something that I could use just to keep myself moisturized. So I actually used this one, Cetaphil Daily Advanced Ultra Hydrating Lotion. This is not specifically recommended for pregnancy. It's not recommended either. It's just a general body lotion, and I used the one that was like ultra hydrating. They have one that's just hydrating, so this one is meant for dry, very dry skin. I naturally have quite dry skin already on my face, so I just went with this, and this one is about 473 mils. I think you can get the 1 liter bottles, but it's really affordable in the sense that it's easy to use. It's a pump, so 1 pump was enough for my entire belly, and then a little bit left for like my chest area. But I could use this like 5 times a day. Just go like, I don't know, go to the bathroom, wash my hands, and just take a quick pump and then rub it all over just to keep my body moisturized. I will say I felt like a slug during the pregnancy because I constantly was just lotioned up and I felt oily and my clothes were sticking to me, and it was like, I remember every night going to bed and I'd have my shirt up so that my belly was exposed so that I could let the lotion absorb, but I'd just be lying in bed just all oiled up, and I was like, ugh, I kind of miss putting my clothes on and just snuggling up in the blankets. So I don't know, that's a bit, but this is something I do recommend in between this. I mean, I guess if you want to splurge and just go through a ton of these, then feel free. I just found them a little inconvenient to use. I guess you could decant them into a pump bottle. So those were the lotions and moisturizers that I personally use. However, I didn't stop there because I was obsessed with making sure I didn't have stretch marks. In the shower, I also made sure I exfoliated. So there was 2 different exfoliators I used. So generally I do a whole body exfoliation with those exfoliator gloves. I'll just like, what is it? I usually use like a liquid body wash when I wasn't pregnant, but when I was pregnant, I was actually using the Dove bar soaps because you can rub them into the exfoliating gloves much better. They kind of like pick up the soap pieces much better, so it lathers up, and I just scrub my entire body. I would do that about once or twice a week in general, even before pregnancy. During pregnancy, I still kept doing that for my whole body, but in between that, because I wanted to keep exfoliating my belly area, I don't know, I became really obsessed with exfoliating. I didn't do it every day because I think that's actually bad for the skin. Like you're just wearing it down much faster, but I did it every second day. So when I wasn't doing the whole body exfoliation, because I felt like that would be quite harsh, I was using 2 products. The first one was actually from Lush. It is the Scrub Bee Body Butter. It's this adorable little bar that is in the shape of a bee, and it has a bunch of body butter incorporated with some exfoliating. On the website it said it was ground almonds, so ground almonds with body butter kind of meshed into look like a little bee. I really love using that because I could just take it and then just like rub it all over my belly and my chest, and because it has the body butter components, it's quite gentle as well. So I would rub specifically under my belly button area because that was the area I could feel stretching out the most. I think I assume it's the same for most people, but I'm not quite sure. I spent a lot of time looking at women with stretch marks in their pregnancies to try and figure out where stretch marks were likely to occur so I could focus on those areas. Yes, I was obsessed. I look back and I'm like, I can't believe I was so obsessed about that, but I was. So I'd use that. On other days, I'd use another scrub called Frank Body Coffee Scrub, I think. I bought it in like a little pregnancy pack that I saw in Mecca, but I didn't use the other scrubs that came with it. I just used the coffee one. That one felt amazing. I'm not quite sure what's in that scrub, and I'm pretty sure Frank Body is actually an Australian brand, which is probably the other thing that really appealed to me. But to be honest, it seemed like a really popular brand on the Mecca website, especially for those trying to deal with stretch marks. So I used their coffee scrub. It is amazing. It's so good. I don't know what's in it because it sounded like it was just literally coffee beans, like ground up coffee beans or something, but it actually leaves your skin really moisturized afterwards. So I do it in the shower. I'd use the Scrub Bee in the shower as well. I come out, pat myself dry, and my belly still felt really moisturized, like it wasn't dry or anything. Whereas when I usually do normal scrubs, I can feel that my body is a little parched and I need to like moisturize it quickly, otherwise I just feel really tight and dry. But the Frank Body Scrub is amazing, really, really good. I think if I was to recommend any of the scrubs that I use, that's probably my top one that I'd recommend. I still have a little bit left. I kind of want to keep using it, but I feel a little bit overindulgent now buying body scrubs, because before I would just use my exfoliating glove with my body wash, so it felt more economical that way, whereas now buying specific products just for scrubbing when I'm not pregnant seems a little indulgent, I would say. I don't know, maybe I'll still do it anyways because I really liked it. It was really nice. But I justified all of this during the pregnancy because I was like, well, you know, this is a very small focused time and it's a really important time, so allow yourself to indulge. So that's how I justified it. Oh, the light is gone again. But yeah, so those are all the products I ended up using. I feel like they worked because I ended up with no stretch marks in the end, even though genetically I should have had stretch marks. But as I said, I think I delivered just at the point of term, so I was fine to deliver, but it was still kind of an early delivery regardless. And also, who knows, maybe I just got lucky. Even though my mom had stretch marks, maybe I was just lucky and it skips a generation or something like that. So I can't guarantee that this will work for everyone. And I still truly believe that if the dermatologist is saying that stretch marks are genetic, then mostly genetic, then I would believe that over a girl on YouTube. But if you wanted product recommendations, those are the ones that I would recommend. So yes, I hope you found the video useful. Thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you, internet.